As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night. Werewolves that howl to the moon, dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello and all, welcome back to another fantastic, stupendous, wonderful episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about the lore, talk about the media representation, and rate them on the scale of 1 to 10. Well, not you. You at a camp right now with your friends, you just did a weird ritual, there's a curse on that camp, and you're kind of just like, have to deal with it. Whether or not you should be having sex with those monsters. I'm your colorful creature consultant cleric, and with me as always is our technical troubadour of titties sucking themselves, our technical analyst, Joe.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you think it's spooky season in September?
I would say so. It's the start of people always like to do.
Have fucking it's rapid everywhere.
We've had to start Halloween week early. Halloween month early for this.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like this has just been a thing, and I've only ever experienced it recently of things starting in September. But I'm just September is such a weird liminal month because it's oh my God, October is the start of the last quarter of the year.
Yeah. It's odd, but I think also a lot of people like Halloween. They like the spooky vibes. They like the scary vibes. And so they want to have that a bit earlier because 1 month to do it, you can't contain it. So you want to bring it in early. It's also a pretty solid aesthetic. I love orange, the color orange. Black and orange is a good color combination. Actually, fun fact, the lights in my section of our little liminal space here, because that's where we are, remember our lore, it has orange lights in it strung up by me and a couple of friends of mine, which is very nice.
It's a vibe. I generally don't get into holidays in general. I just think if you're not a fucking coward, it can be Halloween all year.
That is called a goth person.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
That is called the goth aesthetic.
Change your entire lifestyle now. Aesthetic.
Yeah. Change your entire aesthetic to be goth. Y'alternative. You ever heard of that? Y'alternative?
Yes, I have.
Dog, if you dress like alternative, you got a cowboy hat and black lipstick, I'll fold. I'll fold to a lot of things. I'd fold to somebody dressed as Nico Robin. So I really have no other things to... I'd fold to a lot of things. But anyways, why are we talking about Halloween so early, Joe?
Because we're going to be talking about classic movie monsters. We've done some movie monsters, we've done some classics, but let's get back to the basics when it comes to those early Halloween monsters.
Yeah, so we're going to go pure horror, pure scary movie, kind of what people grew up with. I think I've said this before, I'll say it again. I am not a big horror fan, in the sense that I didn't grow up with horror. I didn't grow up with the horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like Beetlejuice, Friday the 13th, anything, Nightmare on Elm Street. I only recently saw a couple of those. So I don't have a big attachment to horror movies. But Joe, why do you think there is such an attraction to these monsters or this kind of vibe?
A lot of them came from classical literature, and then the way that American, the film industry sort of brought up special effects, and depending on the historical timeline that was going on, in, I believe, Bride of Frankenstein at the very least was in 1935, which is during Great Depression shit, right? And those movies between 1920s and then as soon as World War II started, basically, it's just how do we think about, as people living in 2024, even conceptualize how were they making movies back then? They didn't have anything to eat, or they were drinking all the time, or it was World War II, and it's people still had to live and do the things that they had to make art of what terrified them.
So yeah, there's a big attraction to these monsters. And so that's why I think you've picked one that's a little bit more classic than mine. I picked one from like the 1980s, like vibe
Love
to
that.
talk about. And then we're going to see our phone lines are ringing. So we're going to see today if we get another phone call, anonymous by, talk about their experience, talk about what they want, get off their chest and what kind of monster they want to fuck. Which you can do too if you put your comments in the Spotify comments. If there's a comment section, if you do that, or add us on Twitter.
Or on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, or add us on Twitter. We're going to send a tweet out sometime.
Or email us.
Or you could also email us. We have a lot of sections where you can get involved. We want you to have more involvement. We love you. Mwah. Parasocial. So yeah, I've picked a classic monster. Joe's picked a classic monster. We're going to battle it out to see who has the best one. Joe, are you ready to start?
I'm not starting.
I know, I am. So
Then yes, I am.
Exactly. So I've picked one from the 1980s. One I'm not the biggest fan of.
I was going to say, this is my vibe. This is not
this
your
is
vibe.
more of your vibe. This is not a me vibe, but I do want to talk about it because I do think the one in particular, plus the concept as a whole because there's multiple of them, not just the one original.
Yeah.
I want to talk about them because I think they're interesting. One, kink-wise, I think they're interesting concept-wise. And I think a lot of our audience do like these creatures or would like the vibe of these creatures at a certain point.
You nasty pig fucks.
We have to stop that. I listened back to the last episode. We say nasty pig fucks a lot. Legitimately, we need to stop calling our audience nasty pig fucks. If you want that, you can
introduce your person.
I've chosen from the Hellraiser series the Cenobites, but more specifically, the head priest, Pinhead.
Woo!
Man always seeks pleasure, excess of food, wealth, and flesh. When these desires reach a fever pitch, you may hear a voice tempting you to a box. Gold and divine, the box will call to you, offering you pleasure beyond imagination in a realm just beyond ours. Open it, start the configuration, and a portal will appear. Let the head priest of the Order of Flesh in, clothed in black, head covered in pins. He will show you true pleasure. Pinhead.
So, why did you choose this, knowing that you don't really like this?
I think, again, like I said, it's an interesting vibe. I think it's one that a lot of people like the aesthetic of leather. I think I tend to lean towards a lot of more wholesome monsters, ones that you can build.
Like a cotton, like a linen,
like
an overall, like a corduroy.
Like a corduroy, and leather is something I don't really tend to go for.
Yeah.
I'm not a leather. I'm
Animal
not chains. Sorry, that threw me so off. But yeah, I do want to talk about monsters that we normally wouldn't bring to the table. I don't think either one of us would have picked Pinhead or the Cenobites in general, but I think that's a representation of a group that, listen, a lot of our audience. I know one of our mutuals constantly posts things that I'm like, you would be really good in Hellraiser. So it's an interesting aesthetic. Researching it more, it becomes more worrisome.
Yeah.
It's still something I want to talk about. So, Joe, what do you know about the Cenobites / Hellraiser in general?
So they are like true Marquis de Sade pleasure alien monsters who punish those who like. There's something about pleasure, like the guy in the first movie.
Mm.
Did he found the box or something?
He found the box. So, for context, they're not aliens.
Okay.
They are demons from hell.
Okay, fantastic.
So about 700,000 years ago, you got about to do a lore dump, everybody. Get used to it. From all my, if I had to
we
watch
love a cleric dump.
If I have to watch a 2-hour video, you're hearing at least 20 minutes of it. So about 700,000 years ago in hell, a bunch of priests kind of secluded themselves because hell was at war. They're all fighting, like all the demon lords are all fighting each other. One demon lord in particular, Leviathan, shout out, Lord of Envy, decided to separate himself from the rest of what was going on and created a walled city with his priests. the demons in hell would kind of see this walled city, and they would mostly stay isolated. The walled city of Pandemonium would not like really interact with the rest of hell. And so the damned would look at that place and hear the screams of people being tortured. And it would literally become a source of comfort to the rest of the demons to be like, yo, this place fucking sucks. At least we're not there. At least we're not over there. And I think that is indicative of kind of like the Cenobites and Leviathan's vibe. So Leviathan wants more power and wants to feast on souls. The thing is, Leviathan can't leave, is confined to like a prison and can't leave hell and can't leave their prison. Leviathan then creates the Cenobites, which are people who can kind of go out and grab souls. And the Cenobites are basically people who have like a spark of like they could be fucked up on the inside. And they, depending how guilt-ridden they are or how really fucked up they feel, the Cenobites, Leviathan then tortures them and like brings out one of their aspects that are super like overt. It's like, so if it's somebody who's like would eat beyond pleasure, it would make them like a gluttonous demon. Or somebody who is super into like kicking puppies, suddenly they have really big shoes and like a dog head type thing. And those Cenobites then go out to bring in souls for Leviathan. But Leviathan also wanted to tempt in human souls. So in like 1870 or sometime like that, a designer, Leviathan corrupted an engineer to create the box. And the box is what allows the Cenobites to create a portal into hell to allow the Cenobites to come out. Roughly. That's roughly. The Hellraiser lore is confusing. There's so many like contradictory stories in the lore because they just keep fucking it up. So the box is known as the something configuration. I can't remember the name, everybody. I'll find it in a couple minutes. Give me a second. So once you start messing with the box, it starts the configuration and starts like letting the Cenobites through. Not an official portal, but at least it like scraps your blood and starts torturing people. The Cenobites have rules. They can only kill people who have touched the box. They can only, that's it.
That's demon rules for you.
Yeah. They cannot kill, they don't kill the innocent and they don't.
Okay.
It's only people who are given to the temptation of touching the box. You touch the box, you're fucking dead.
It's all about temptation. You gotta love that. It's classic stuff.
So the main focus of the Cenobites and Pinhead himself, who is the head priest, he kind of runs it. The main focus of the Cenobites is to bring people pleasure. They're hedonists, they're masochists, and they're sadists. All in one. They love sins of the flesh. They love sins of the mind, all that kind of thing. They love sins like that. The thing is, they believe that at a certain point, there's a point beyond pain that brings pleasure. But the problem is, their level of pain is not for normal people.
Right. Like they can just beat the shit out of each other forever, pretty much.
They're cool with ripping each other's flesh apart and getting like their muscles filled with eels. And they're like, this is pleasure, because at a certain point, your pain receptors turn off and you just love it. To anyone else, Jesus fucking Christ, no. Just no. So that's basically what the Cenobites are, or that's their kind of vibe. How are you feeling about it?
Good, obviously.
What do you mean by good, obviously?
Because there's something so interesting. I mean, obviously it's awful if you're just a human. When like, if your body is able to go and surpass the regular like levels of pain that we're supposed to, because like we're human, we're supposed to feel pain so that we know that like our body is falling apart. But if your body was able to do crazy things without you having to die immediately after, but like you didn't feel pain throughout the entire thing, then like why the hell did I just like tear my flesh apart just to see what happens? And for it to make the demon sex better. I don't know.
It's interesting. So another part, to get more specifically into Pinhead. Pinhead was a dude from World War I who opened the box and was possessed by what is, according to Hellraiser lore, possessed by the spirit of Pinhead. And Pinhead has always been the head priest of the Cenobite order, dating all the way back to like Cro-Magnon time. Like there's a image of Pinhead as a caveman with like bones sticking out of his head. It's fucking wild. So Pinhead is more of like has always been the head priest of the order and just possesses different bodies to do that. And so his current host that we know, well, in the first Hellraiser movie, the first like couple Hellraiser movies, the first host is this guy from World War I. And so an interesting little facet about that is because there's a human spirit in Pinhead, there is some goodness. Well, less goodness in more a human aspect of where the character's name is Elliot. Elliot can kind of take control of Pinhead and be like, hey, sorry for torturing you like that. Run, kind of thing. There is some guilt there. There is some, like...
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pinhead.
Pinhead is very good with his words. He's very eloquent. He's very sanctimonious. He's very, he's a demon. He better be. He's a priest. He's a priest. He is the... If you have religious trauma, you got a religious kink.
If you got a fucking...
Yeah, listen. People got it. People like the priest. They want you dressed up as a nun, dress you up as a pastor, a little collar. Like, say your sins, confess, my child.
And then you say, I grew up Presbyterian.
Yeah, then I said, I grew up Pentecostal. Where's the snake?
Where's the songs, dude?
Where's the song? Bring out the choir. Okay, let's put a choir here.
1, 2,
Bring out the choir. I like to sing. Yes, yes, yes. I like to sing. Yes, yes.
Is that a Christian song? It's
No,
just
that's
a declaration.
No, that's from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's an episode of Jimmy Neutron where I don't want to go on this rant. I'm not going on this tangent. We're not going to do this. Honestly, that'd be so funny during sex if you're like, I want you to bring I want to do like we were in church. Okay. You come in, there's a whole choir, there's communion, and then there's
there's Bulby from Jimmy Neutron.
He has a tambourine. And it's just like
yeah.
He's hitting in the rhythm of you doing back shots and just like, yes.
No.
Honestly, that'd be funny. Who wants to do that? Hit me on Twitter.
Honestly, what? Honestly, who?
Okay, so here's my ideas for porn. I'm gonna pitch this to Pornhub. An entire choir stands there. I have a tambourine.
I think we maybe have enough to go off of for a sex appeal to start, perhaps.
So yeah, we could. I'll go more into Pinhead lore as we go through the scale here.
Yeah.
So, sex appeal. He is hot. Always dressed in leather. Has kind of the pins on him. Nipples are always usually exposed. Black leather, all that kind of stuff. He is very sanctimonious. He's never really I think he's only taken off once. Sometimes there's blood like dripping from there. So I'm going to be very fair with everybody. I'm going to be very genuine. I'm going to take a step back from me. So because me personally, this is a lot of 2s and 3s, but I don't think that's fair to Pinhead and to people who like this. So I'm going to stay as objective as possible and be as neutral as possible here. Like, this is not Cleric's preference.
I mean, you
this
say
is
that, so I don't know.
I'm going to try and be as general as possible with it. So, Pinhead is attractive. The head thing, kind of difficult to kiss.
You can't kiss.
There's pins right there. But when it comes to the leather aesthetic, the chains aesthetic, the priest aesthetic, I think that appeals to a lot of people. So for sex appeal, I'm going to give this a 7.
I'm going to see what he looks like again.
Yeah, there's a couple. I'll also say there's something else about Pinhead. Because he can possess other people, there have been female Pinheads. There have been different Pinheads in general. Like in the latest Hellraiser movie, Pinhead is a woman, which is a whole interesting. This was a whole controversy for some reason. Grow up. So and he has different designs in every movie, and different vibes in every movie. Sometimes it's like he's fully leathered up and the only thing that you can really see is the blue skin Pinhead vibe. Other times he has cutouts in his shirts and stuff. Other times he's more, but usually it's always dressed in the black leather cloak energy.
It's such a cool fucking design. I don't know.
It is.
It's really interesting because it's not necessarily sex so much as just art, right?
Yeah.
My heart says 6, which is very interesting for me.
Okay.
It's not. It's beautiful, but then it regardless if it's a lady or a man Pinhead, it's just kind of woof. There's a lot of white.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the main problem.
Whiteness. No, there's a lot of things going on. You can say something's objectively beautiful, but not find it attractive.
Mm-hmm,
You can say something is an aesthetic and be like, something's an aesthetic, but not practical. There's a
I'm
lot
not
of
whipping it out
impractical.
for the Met. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to the Met just whipping out my Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to the Philadelphia Art Museum and I'm fucking cranking it.
I'm not going to the Natural History Museum and saying, bones, let's get it. Wow.
Check out this bone. And then
Shout out to Smithsonian, because my Smith is honing in on this shit. Let's get it.
We're not allowed back at any of these museums.
I'm banned from DC, actually.
Personality.
Personality is where we get a little bit tougher. So,
well, isn't he kind of like a gentleman or like nice a little bit?
Kind of. He is very sanctimonious. He is the three main parts of his personality. If we're going by the original Hellraiser, he's a hedonist, he is a sadist, and he is a masochist. So he loves pain. He loves dishing out pain. He loves getting pain, and he loves just to be like temptation. He is a great tempter. He's very eloquent. He's very sanctimonious. Like I said, I'm repeating what I've said, but he's very much these kind of vibes. The thing is, if we go by further movies, if we talk strictly the Pinhead entity, he does get a god complex at a certain point.
That makes sense. I understand. I get that.
So when in the third movie, him and the spirit of Elliot are separated. And so without the spirit of Elliot, Pinhead is no longer tied to the main spirit of Leviathan. And because of that, he no longer is bound by Leviathan's rules and just wants to rule over. So Pinhead starts killing innocent people. Pinhead starts like making Xenobites whenever. Pinhead is very much more cruel in this one. He can also read minds, apparently, in the third one. I don't know the rules behind that. But Pinhead then, like, for an example, because I think the final scene takes place in a church, and there's a priest there, and the priest holds up like a little cross being like, demon, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, that's a false god, stupid. I'm the real god. Melts the cross, then grabs the priest, and then forces the priest to do communion with his own body. Like, pulls out flesh, makes him eat it, gets blood, makes him drink it. And it's just like, now you've been ordained
that's
by the
sick as
new
hell.
church. That's a wild energy, everybody. That's
good.
Fucking intense.
If you have a god complex, you should do that, I think. I'm going to give it an 8.
Shut the fuck up.
That is someone that is...
Shut the fuck up.
I can't say consistent exactly, but someone who realizes their worth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Realizing your worth. You're so stupid. God complex aside, there's a lot of things. I like the original personality of Pinhead. I want to stick with that.
Love that.
Of this high priest kind of vibe, kind of above it all, but still enjoys it. I think that's where I lean more towards. God complexes, I'm not attracted to a God complex unless
It's you.
they're really hot.
Okay.
There are God complexes that are hot, but also tempered. I think with Pinhead's vibe of torture and pleasure into pain kind of thing, not the God complex I'm attracted to.
Cleric said that you can't have a god complex if you're a 7 out of 10. So
No, kind of, no. You can't have a God complex if you want to murder everybody. If you just think you're the best person in the world, that's confidence. And honestly, I'm down to lick your toes. But if it's for your thing is I'm gonna murder everybody because I'm the greatest thing to ever exist. Fuck out of here. But again, other people might like. I'm gonna lean more towards his high priestess Aaron, and that's something that I think a lot of people find attractive. I'm gonna give this a 6 as well. Relationship potential 0. I'm genuinely, there is no chance for this. At least to my knowledge, from what the videos I've watched, there is not a chance for Pinhead to be in a relationship. You can have a physical relationship with him. That I will say. He is a hedonist.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You probably can fuck.
A one and done.
Yeah, it'll probably be through intense amount of torture because again, the kink aspect of this comes to a play where he is a sadist. He wants to give it. It's a switch sadist masochist vibes. So you have to, while he is torturing you, you basically have to torture him back. And so it's that dynamic. And the thing is, his level of pain is way different than your level of pain. So while you're like, I'll scratch you, he's like, and now I'm getting the semi-truck to run you over. There are differences. Can you rectify those differences? I know, me personally, I cannot.
So, Cleric, we don't do zeros.
We don't do zeros. So I'm going, like I said, I'm taking a step back from here. I think people are out there that are wild enough to do it. I know a couple of them that are would like to be in that dom, sub, super masochist, super sadist type vibe. It works for them. I'm going to give this, I think, to be fair, I'll give this a 2. You can fuck, you can be in that relationship, but it doesn't go beyond that. Ever. You will not be high priestesses next to him.
But he turns people into Cenobites, he said.
Leviathan turns people into Cenobites. So you could be a Cenobite with him. But again, that involves turning yourself into a Cenobite, which is a whole other ballgame there. And then you're torturing people.
But it's possible.
It's possible.
I'm already torturing people.
That's why I gave it a 2, Joe. It's possible.
With your strange, mitigated compromise ways for this episode, I think I'm hearing you with like he's not necessarily. This is not a relationship situation, but sometimes a relationship can be just simply the state of, oh, you're around, let's go.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
I'm going to give it a 4 because I am seeing that this is like a below average situation.
Fair. Okay. That's fine. Like I said, like you said, if you want to be a Cenobite, if you don't mind going through and being an endless torturer and actually also a Cenobite, you get possessed by a demon, but you still have some of your human aspects to them, like your most exaggerated human aspect, but you're getting possessed by a demon. So the demon is mostly in control and you're kind of just like chilling in the back watching all that shit happen.
Some people don't want to live in their own bodies. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a great deal for some people and they'll actually be able to feel something for once.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
You get to be in your body, but you don't get to feel like pain. Well, you do feel pain, but like it's like the concept of death gets so warped that like maybe you start to love yourself. Don't listen to me. Please don't listen to me.
Jesus
just continue.
Christ.
Please just continue.
I'm text your therapist after this. Anyways. I'm kidding.
She's got a lot to work with.
Now it's encounter chance.
The box. That is the only way. The box moves throughout human history. Random people find the box all the time. What was the guy's like occupation that found the book and the box in the first movie? Was he just a guy?
I feel like he was
just a jamoke.
What the fuck word was that?
Just a fucking
jabroni.
Yeah, just a fucking jabroni.
Just a fucking jabroni. No, he don't remember.
Okay, great.
Don't remember. Cool. I didn't watch these. I only watched the latest one, Hellraiser, and then I watched 2 kill counts for this. That was about it.
That's so funny.
And then so my research. Everyone, here's my research. My research was watching the recent Hellraiser 7 months ago, 2 kill counts, and then an analyzing evil video, and then reading like 2 different Wikipedia pages. There's my research. Shout out Dead Meat. But for the first movie, I don't remember, but I do. The subsequent movies, it's always just a random person. Like high societies get them and they're like, I don't want to touch the box. I just want to open the portal so I can go to the realm beyond pleasure.
Yeah.
And so they get other people just basically as sacrifices. And
damn. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And so usually that's when the jabroni gets involved or like random people get involved with it. So the box is basically sent around. Mostly you can find the box. The box, I think in the latest movie, the box was stolen by somebody.
Does it usually go through auctions or something?
Yeah, usually auctions, usually like stolen. I think this one was on its way to a rich person. And then like this girl who was like going through withdrawals, took it, and then and got her blood on it, and that started the whole cycle. So
if it's a matter of putting yourself in danger or money or just being there by chance, it does lower, but it is fairly possible at the same time.
It's fairly possible. I would give this a 5. Genuine.
I'll give it a 6.
You can find the box. The box is findable.
Yeah.
But people have found it. Death risk. Now, this one isn't changing for me. This is not changing. This is the same.
I understand.
It is a 1. You're going to die. People have lived.
Yeah.
Encountering Cenobite. Don't get me wrong. There have been people who lived. But that is final girl shit. Not you.
Right.
Are you the final girl? Probably not.
Well,
You've had sex.
Because final girls have to be virgins?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty judgmental of you.
I'm not the one who wrote the trope.
Yes, you did.
That was me. I was in every writer room.
My heart says 1.5 to be a little delusional because I do enjoy Hellraiser as a concept. Well, I watched the first movie, but
yeah, I be delusional. I say be delusional. Watch it. Also, there have been a variety of final girls out there. I want to make it very clear. I'd be delusional. I think there is a scenario where you live if you become a Cenobite, but that's a whole other torture.
Final
but also
girls
you
can
die.
Be MILFs.
You did die. Shout out the Scream franchise.
There you go.
I love Scream. Actually, I was introduced to Scream very recently, and I think that's my favorite horror movies.
I was just a guy, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, not watching any of the new ones. I'll watch the same 6 ones forever now. Fuck you,
we
Boomhouse.
have the numbers. We have the votes.
I found this cool Rubik's Cube. Do you want to try opening it?
You're going to hurt yourself. Let me just give it to you.
Ow. Actually, I just cut my hand on it.
Oh, God damn it.
I just cut my hand on it.
Jesus Christ.
I just cut my hand on it.
All right. Well, should we make this easy or hard?
We're going to pause for math, everybody.
You opened it. We came.
I got the nipple clamps on.
Well, Cleric has no skin anymore. Let's get into the votes. Oh, Jesus. Let's get into the results. So, Cleric for Pinhead, the Cenobite from Hellraiser, with a 4.2. For me, a 5.1, which gives Pinhead as a total result and rating with a 4.7. That's considerably, it's 0.7 higher than King Boo and 0.2 above Rek'Sai, which is very fun.
My flesh.
And then I'm going to snap and woo! Cleric has all of your skin back.
It's back. I'm also an angel, so technically I could have done that at any time. I just was being a little bit dramatic.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. I just wanted...
The plight of the demon is not something that you can just wear and...
Oh my God. Boo hoo hoo. Anyways, that's not bad. I think a 4.0 compared to other monsters is
4.7.
4. I'm saying in the 4 range. Like in the 4 range is not bad. That's closer to a 5 and closer to a lot of other things.
Not bad
compared to other ones who are bottom tier, I think Pinhead's got a fair shake, everybody. If you want, and you have complaints, at Joe on Twitter. Actually, don't at Joe, at Hollow Compass on Twitter, specifically.
Okay, wait. We're getting a phone call. It's happening.
It's happening again? We're getting another phone call?
It's happening again.
Okay, I want to pick up the phone this time.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, move. I want to pick it up.
Again, can I please have this half of the chair?
Get the fuck off the chair.
So I just have to stand outside of it while you have to look. Okay.
It's a phone booth.
Okay.
It's a phone booth. You know what? Now it's canonically a phone booth.
You can't just change the design of something just because you don't like it.
Because I just want privacy. Well, actually, we go back. It's back to being a rotary phone. We're in a mythical liminal space where things happen. So it's back to being a rotary phone, but you don't get the chair. I get the chair.
Why is okay?
I get the chair. Anyways.
Pick it up.
Monsterfuckers Anonymous, how can we help you?
Hey, so I found this number just kind of like on the side of the road or something, and I had a question.
You saw the flyers. Okay, go for it.
What do you mean flyers?
Well, I put flyers out after we got a phone call.
We're getting fired.
Probably, but who's really? But this is engagement. This is how we get to the people.
Hello?
Anyways, yeah. What's up? Tell us all about it.
So I'm kind of like a lazy piece of shit my whole life. Been a lazy piece of shit my whole life.
Okay.
And I needed to get an apartment because I was getting laid off. I needed something fast, didn't have a credit check, the rent was super cheap, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I didn't really think to ask questions in the moment, but then I started hearing this ghost girl. Or started seeing one, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So sometimes I'm just trying to like listen to her. Sometimes she says things.
Okay,
What's
so you
up?
want to get rid of the ghost?
No. I'm just saying like sometimes we see each other and then like I don't know what she's saying because she's like speaks to me in like whispers and like rhymes and then like and when I see her face like I have to sleep for like a week. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I wanted to call in specifically because I hear her masturbating all the time. So like I thought it was like rats in the walls, but like it's for sure gushy gushy going on. You know what I mean? So my question is, should I?
I'm gonna put you on hold real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah. I got time.
Okay. What the fuck? All right. Joe, what do you think?
Obviously, yes.
No. You don't.
Every time you sleep for a week, you're so not refreshed and you're older. But like, hey, we're all dying.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, we're all dying, but you shouldn't fuck the ghost that's jerking off in your house.
And why?
Why is she jerking off in your house?
I think she's sending implicit signals. You know what I mean?
That's how she gets to the other side?
Yeah.
She just fucking like gets the grapefruit out? Like, oh my
No. I mean, it's kind of romantic if you think about it.
How? Explain it.
Because she speaks Enochian or something, you know what I mean?
and the real language that is universal is Oshigushi.
It's one that this guy clearly understands. And I think she knows that and recognizes that and wants to connect.
Hold on, let me put him on the phone real quick. Let me grab him.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you walk around your house naked?
Oh yeah. I walk around hard.
And ballpark it for me. How big's your Johnson?
Big enough.
All right, putting you back on hold. He's got a hog. So maybe I get it.
Listen, sometimes there's all sorts of ghosts that can corporealize in varying different ways. She has to use a certain amount of energy that she'll use out on him. And then he will age probably twice his age every time that it happens.
Usually some ghosts like suck your soul through sex, like your lifespan. Totally. So this could kill him, 100%.
Yeah.
And we're good with that. You're good. You're saying go ahead.
Well, I'm good with that personally. It's what I would do, but I know that like the energy psychic thing doesn't really affect me. So
it's more of just a generalized question of like, the ghost, I don't even know. Like genuinely, can you even communicate? How long would the sex be with the ghost? Can the ghost like face walls? Are you going to die from it? I mean, can you be ghosts together then in the afterlife?
And again, wouldn't that be so romantic?
In some forms, yes. Death is involved a little bit. A little tad bit. And then also, don't you have to have like worldly resentment or attachment in order to have to become a ghost?
I'm sure there's some sort of loophole that he can find in her pussy.
I mean, if that shit is otherworldly and you can hear it from the other side,
that's what I'm saying.
That shit must be Niagara Falls. Like, damn, that shit got to be gripping.
So that's what so I think he should try it. And if he gets too old too fast, he should get over it and then consider himself with a ghost wife.
I'm with it. You know what? Fuck the ghost. Genuinely, fuck the ghost jerking off in your living room. Hopefully she's not doing it while you're cooking. Like imagine just like you're cooking some eggs and she's just above you just.
And that's how you know that the pan is ready. Kez left.
Kez has fully walked away. Kez has fully walked away.
I think we answered the question.
Yeah, all right, caller. Fuck the ghost. Goodbye. All right. Well, Joe, now that we've done our public service, our community service for today, isn't it
All
your
in
turn?
a good day's work.
All in a good day's
It's my
work?
turn.
It is.
I will be talking next about an older classic of the 30s or so, Frankenstein's monster.
Ooh, we're finally getting to him. We're finally doing it. We said we were going to do it. We're finally doing it.
Frankenstein's monster, the undead clay with which the modern Prometheus made into a sentient, emotional, and rapidly intellectualizing man. Observant, poetic, shy, protective, the folly of sudden creation without permission. The ontological crime swells within him after he is fearfully discarded, and as he is shot at for his monstrous appearance. Revenge on mankind will never end until he gets his hands on his creator, Frankenstein. Mary Shelley fucking cooked, and she was 18 years old, surrounded by a bunch of 30-year-old men. We're not going to talk about it. And she was just like, I'm going to fucking write about hot take, which is not a hot take. I'm going to write a story about men that is actually about women.
Break it down for me.
Yeah. So Frankenstein, I don't think ever really considers Victor as like a father figure as so much as like a creator, a sort of master. But always in these situations, I never consider the creator, quote unquote, as like a father figure so much as like, this is your mom. And your first maternal feeling for someone is just like the feeling of someone that like put their heart and soul into like making you and helping you into this world. And what is not more like romantically, horrifically an Ouroboros of like love, life, and death than wanting to kill the person that created you, or wanting to betray or oust or disavow the person that created you. And the fact that this is just truly like teenage heartthrob, but an almost nearing undead monster of a man that was created not too long ago. The modern Prometheus shit, which is about Victor Frankenstein, but even then, like, you have to think about how Victor Frankenstein never even like lives up to that because he becomes afraid of the monster immediately after making him.
Yeah.
You can't be a pussy.
You can't make life
monsters
and be a pussy about it.
And then back out. Then back out.
So we can cut this part if it doesn't make sense. But when one of my exes was obsessed with Frankenstein.
And I know exactly who you're talking about.
And not in a bad way, but in a way that the way they described Frankenstein was as a homoerotic like tale of a man who was grappling with wanting to love another. I think because if I remember for the story of Frankenstein in general, it's Victor, his best friend, and then like the monster.
That's true.
And his best friend dies or still around?
Well, the Frankenstein kills his friend.
Oh yeah,
during closer to the wedding. So
he's in love with his best friend, but since he can't comprehend or those feelings or be with him, he creates
spend a lot of time together.
The monster as a student, like as like, hey, in the image of his friend, to try and like be around that. But then when the monster awakens, he realizes, oh my God, what have I created? What has my love done? This isn't him. And that's why he kind of sends the monster away. So it's technically the monster is a manifestation of Victor and his friends' like homoerotic love for each other, or at least Victor's love for his friend.
And personally, I don't see that. But what I see is this like disfigured person who just goes out and like lives in the woods and like appreciates like the sound of like the rustling leaves of the trees and like hears wind for the first time.
Yeah.
And like is able to like romanticize his life and like wanting to like live and like wanting companionship even. So when Victor has the gall to marries a woman, Frankenstein less wants to marry a woman so much as wants a companion, and is like enraged at the fact that his creator had the gall to like get married after discarding him.
Yeah, I think we focused a lot on Victor, and I think it's time to focus on the monster, like you're doing. But I was like, we talked about Victor's motivation. The monster's motivation is just, I want a vibe.
Exactly.
I am new. The world is new. I'm curious. I want to see what the world has to offer.
I want to live, and I wish that I could have been a child, but I am in this domineering man's body. And like, honestly, what a like trans like allegory.
Yeah.
Like,
of rediscovering yourself, rediscovering who you are as a person, and then the world treating you like a monster. It's genuinely, Frankenstein is a sad, tragic story, and Victor is the villain. 1,000%. I think that's a general consensus.
And Victor is the villain. And as I always say, if you are not able to like follow through with the idea of creation and conception, then you must not do it. You can't fuck with time. You can't fuck with the creation of something, especially if it is a self-sustaining, potentially parthenogenetic being that can like make more of itself.
Yeah.
You just can't. Sometimes bitches can barely handle themselves, right?
Yeah.
So
sometimes you need to go. What you don't need is a giant monster that you might need. Sometimes you need therapy.
If you can't keep a plant alive, that's me. Like I relate to that.
Yeah.
Then you must not.
Yeah. Don't go creating a homunculus through an egg. Shout out Smiling Friends.
You can't make your perfect boyfriend, unfortunately.
Stick to Dress to Impress.
I was just gonna say,
stick to Dress to Impress.
Stick to Roblox.
Stick to that, and then go to therapy. But Frankenstein's monster, which also sucks that he doesn't even have a name, which is just unfortunate. Right. I think
Adam is floated.
Okay, let's go for Adam. So Adam at this point is. We've talked about the background of Adam. I think let's talk about it back in the context of the show. The concept of Frankenstein, of Adam, I think is hot. I think it's super attractive because a lot of media has made Frankenstein. Like if you're going by the original, where it's like the blockhead, the spikes on the nubs on the
like lightning conductors.
Yeah, the lightning conductors on the head, and then just being like the big green box and like walking like that. That's an iconic design that you can't really go wrong with. But there's been so many interpretations of Frankenstein, of Frankenstein's monster, that it's super interesting. I'm just gonna call him Frankenstein. We're going by that now. I can't do it. So it's so many interesting ways to go by Frankenstein because it's been so iconic. There's so many different designs. There's the Fate Stay Night version where Frankenstein is woman.
Frankenstein's monster is a little beautiful lady.
There is Marvel and DC have their own version of Frankenstein. There is the Hotel Transylvania. There's hundreds of versions of this like corpse-made man, but all the things that are consistent with his personality is curiosity, is a desire to just be within, like not be disturbed, just wants to find people who love and appreciate them or appreciate Frankenstein. I love Frankenstein. Genuinely, I'm not seeing many downsides to it. And this is somebody who will care for you, who's curious, who wants to figure out your body, figure out his body, have a fun time with it.
And there's an interesting parallel here, hilariously, with the Cenobites. Good job, Cleric. Where Pinhead would be able to like do insane feats of like mind and body melding, like torture. But Frankenstein's monster very much, like if he overexerts himself, he is still like a creation. Like there's a strength that he is capable of, but like if he overexerts, like he very well could fall apart. Which same.
Mm-hmm. Me every day.
Me too.
Me too.
So he's just a very relatable person all around.
Yeah.
You got to take care of him.
You do have to maintain his body. He is a rotting corpse. There will be a smell. There will be a vibe. I don't know what he eats. He is afraid of fires, so you need to get an electric stove. That is essential.
Yeah.
And so also, this is somebody you have to teach. This is somebody you have to like, well, also, actually, no.
He's he knows how to do stuff.
Yeah, Adam is super smart. At a certain point,
he reads poetry.
Yeah. the original interpretation of Frankenstein, Adam is a genius, or like he gets to the point of being on par with Victor himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Serious daddy
Weddings
issues
piss him off.
Yeah, daddy issues and weddings are not his forte. You invite him to a wedding, be like, "Hey, babe, I know. Like, do you want to go on to my friend's wedding?"
No.
My dad got married. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, okay, and do you want to whoa. It's like, I hate my dad. Okay, I get it. It's like, you know what he did? I know, we've talked about it 100 times.
Yeah.
So this is somebody who's like, I hate my dad. And it's just very much of that kind of energy.
My dad got married.
My dad got married.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry.
No, you don't get it.
People
my dad got married.
Love. I want love.
I do love you, though. I do love you. But are we going to get married? I mean, do you want to get married? No. My dad got married. And we're in the cycle again.
Yeah. So you just can't. There are some things. And hey, you got to respect boundaries. You just cannot mention.
You
just can't.
Can't mention his dad. You can't mention marriage. So this is like, you have to be comfortable with.
You can't be family oriented with this guy.
Yeah. Can't be. Want that.
Or wedding or marriage oriented. Yeah. You can't.
He may want family. He may want kids. Because he wants a family.
He may want kids. And adoption, perfectly fine.
Actually, he definitely will want kids because he'd be like, my dad had kids and I want to one-up him. He had 2 kids, I want 4. And you're just like, whoa. Yeah.
Always just wants to one-up dad.
Yeah.
So that'll be a thing you have to live with kind of
my
your
dad was
life.
a scientist, so I decided to become head scientist or like...
a better scientist.
I think we have enough information to go off. I think we can dive into the scale and talk through there. Sex appeal. I would say most forms of Frankenstein can be sexy.
I agree.
I think the original one where he is human colored and just has scars and like lines all over his face.
That's cool.
Is a decent look. I love scars. I love
There was
markings.
never a mention of a scent, honestly, though. Was there?
I don't think so, but he is rotting corpses. So
he is made out of people, for sure.
He is made out of people.
It is something to be expected.
Yeah. It's up to your interpretation of it. You can be like, I don't know how to deal with corpses. Or you could be like, when he was shocked alive, it eliminated all his scent things. He could take a shower.
He could.
I mean, his body is attached. There are things where like his body does fall apart. There are interpretations of that. Oh, I just remembered fucking Stein from Soul Eater.
Oh,
holy shit, he counts as like a Frankenstein interpretation. That's hot.
Not mine. No, I love Stein. It's not the same.
It's not the same. No, wait a second. No, my bad. Stein is Victor Frankenstein. My bad. And then the other guy,
he made himself.
Well, no, he's Victor, and then the guy who dies, the teacher who dies, is his Frankenstein. Or his monster.
I don't know what you're talking.
One of their teacher dies.
We gotta just...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll move on. A lot of Frankenstein interpretations are hot. He's iconic. I would even say the Fate Stay Night one, hot.
I love her so much.
Frankenstein and just general Frankenstein of just being a corpse with lines all over him, I think is hot. I'm going to give this a base level 8.
I was going to say the same thing, 8. Like, there's just so much room to play around with. It's in modern day science, we can do anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There are other interpretations where you can take his brain out and put him in other bodies. So if you don't like his current body, but you like his brain and his mind, just make a new corpse.
That's his decision.
Well, no, exactly. It's up to him. It's like, hey, I want to change things up. Do you mind? Yeah, I'll help you out.
Absolutely.
So there's that. Personality.
This is a
pettiest motherfucker. So petty.
And he gets it from his dad.
Yeah.
And he does get that. Yeah.
You do have to deal with their family issues of his dad ignoring him and be like, I want your attention, Dad. Dad. And that's like his main personality trait. Like, he's very smart, very intelligent, very like well written, well spoken, will write you haikus and endless poetries and sonnets. Is incredibly smart. But will always be like, at the end of the day, is non-committal to marriage. Will always have daddy issues. Which
whatever. Me too.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people have daddy issues, and a lot of those daddy issues make them sling good dick.
I'll cry with you, King. I think it's an 8.
I'll give this a 7. I'll do it a point down.
Because you hate me.
Correct. Relationship potential. High. He wants to get married. He does want a partner.
Did you see? We mind melded again.
We did mind meld. But we hang out too much. High. Because he wants a partner. He literally, there's a movie called Bride of Frankenstein. I will give this actually.
Sorry.
No. However, hit me with a however.
However, it's so sad because when she gets created, she's like scared of him again.
Oh, I mean, doesn't like he murder people to make her?
Huge point.
Is that like that's a genuine question? I don't remember. I don't know. That was a genuine question because if that's the case, that's understandable. But also, that's a whole other thing of like it's the vicious cycle of creation hating creator that happened to Frankenstein to monster to Victor, monster to bride.
I think he forces Frankenstein's son to make the woman. Yeah.
Okay.
And then she is scared of him.
So yeah, again, cycle continues endlessly.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I would push that. Then, if that's the case, this is somebody who's very even for personality, is goal oriented, wants what he wants, is kind of going to force his way through. Not great. I'm going to knock it down to maybe a 6. It's very highly possible. Actually, 7. I'll do 6.5. We'll do 6.5 here.
There we go.
I think that's fair. You're sticking with an 8?
Yep.
Okay. Encounter chance. So here's where the interpretation of encounter chance is going to be weird. I think this encounter chance is high. The reason being, while there may only be one Frankenstein in all of existence, there's so many interpretations of Frankenstein, the possibility of meeting with him is above average.
He also finds Victor Frankenstein all the way to the ends of the earth,
Yeah.
Like, he could become a private eye, pretty quickly.
Yeah, he can travel, he can do things like that. I think genuinely, it's very possible to encounter Frankenstein because of how he moves, how many versions of them are. I will give this a 7. Damn, it's just 8s all across the board for Joe.
Another 8.
It's just
because it's absolutely not perfect whatsoever. We got to deal with his body falling apart potentially, but it's pretty strong. It's canon. It's in the books.
Yeah, death risk.
Book.
Now,
no, not really. Like, you have to provoke him. If anything, like he can kill, and he's killed.
But again,
equal opportunity.
He does threaten people a lot, and that can lead to death.
That's not death.
But that can lead. Like, what if he does try to kill Victor? He does try to kill Victor's son. Mm-hmm. He does try to kill several people who go. He kills
Victor's wife and Victor's gay bestie.
So the Frankenstein is capable of active murder.
He doesn't want to, though. And like I could kill you, and that's a hypothetical. That doesn't mean that there's like a 100% death risk of me being in the same house as you. Thing.
If we have equal chance of killing each other, Frankenstein has monstrous strength that there's no way we could fight him off besides his weakness of fire.
He has a weakness, though, and we know that. That's a considerable thing.
It is a considerable weakness, which is why I'm not putting it. I'm saying this to be middling, genuinely.
Okay.
Because he's not prone to anger, but he is there. Like it's possible. I don't want us to deny the possibility because he has killed people before in his own anger. So
he does get kind of outside of his own.
Yeah,
he gets angry because he's experiencing being a child and angry, but like he's in a man's body.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But again, there's a possibility of death. So that's why I'm going to give this a 5. I think it's literally middle of the road, depending on where he's at in his life. If you catch him while he's nice, good. If you catch him while he's anger-filled at his dad, you could be on the receiving end of a giant gripped hand on your head.
Even then, it would be like a 6 or 7. So that's why it's another 8 for me.
Oh my fucking Christ.
I have strong feelings about Frankenstein.
Strong feeling. Well, Joe, there's a lightning storm happening outside our little liminal space. Do you want to go create life real quick?
I'm running outside.
All right. Well, while Joe runs outside, Kez is going to go run the numbers. We'll be right back.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be back. Joe, look at our little homunculi. Say hi, little homunculi. Hello!
And then I kill it. I kill it immediately.
Oh!
Because we can't play with birth and creation, nor time nor death.
I named him Toby.
And the numbers for Frankenstein's monster. Can you cry during this part?
Toby.
For cleric, that is an overall of 6.7 and a flat 8 across the board for me. So that gives it an 8. So Adam, or Frankenstein's monster, is a 7.4, which is along the lines.
Toby.
It's 0.2 below Black Arachnia and 0.3 below Soundwave. To, I guess, put him against the other, like, kind of robotic, technical creatures that we have. The same score as Jinbei, actually.
Oh, Jinbei throws you just hear a whooshing sound of it getting thrown into the trash. Well, no, I mean, Frankenstein, I don't really see any bad sides with Adam the monster, genuinely.
No.
I think the only bad side is like his temporary anger and things like that, but that's not, other than that, he's hot, he's smart, he's capable. Honestly, he earns a spot as a top tier monster for MFA.
Absolutely.
But with that, we're reaching the end of the show. So Joe, I think we have a winner and a loser. So we heard the winner.
We certainly do.
Remind us of the loser.
So again, Frankenstein's monster with the 7.4. The winner of this episode and the loser of this episode is Cleric's Choice Pinhead at a 4.7.
There's just too many downsides with the Cenobites.
Too many.
Yeah.
Just too many.
It's, even with me trying to give it as fair as a shake as possible, it's just too tough to navigate, genuinely. But hey, that's how it is in the show. At least like the monsters are still good. They're still, hey, if you like them, you like them. If you love them, you love them. Anyways, Joe, any closing thoughts?
Halloween, a little overrated.
You are going to cause so many fights right now. Genuinely.
I love horror.
You're going to cause problems.
I just think everyone's a coward and you just got to do it all year.
Again,
if that's your life, all year.
So yeah, goth aesthetic, everybody. Remember, if you want to have your call if you want to call in to have your anonymous monster story of any monster interest, please reach out to us on Spotify, Twitter, email, anywhere that you can contact us. Let us know. We love to answer some questions, and we don't know if you guys like this segment. It's very new to us. We're trying it. It's actually a lot of fun. We're having a good time. So if you write in, maybe your question will appear in MFA. Other than that, Joe, you ready to start planning our Halloween special?
Oh, God. Yeah, sure.
All right. If that's the case, everybody, see you next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Your hosts have been Cleric and Josephine, who you can find as Cleric34 and Scary Dog Friend, respectively. Today's episode has been edited by Kestrel, who you can find as Hollow Compass. Our marketing strategist is Gwen, who you can find as Glitchy Pixie. And the character designs you see on our show art was done by Ribby, who you can find as Art by Ribby. Our intro and outro song is Fiction/Reality by the band Hypno Sister. Thank you to Soren for permission to use the song. Today's episode topic was submitted to us through the Spotify comments from One Anarchy. So, Anarchy, I hope we've created an episode fit to your tastes, but if not, please take it up with the customer service team here at MFA. Our wonderful Ko-fi members who help keep the office lights on are Amelia G, Gwendolyn, Christian J, Bunhan, Zombiefighter89, Antonia Nipples, Kinegales, and Trash Rat Darcy. Thank you to all of you for your support. Our wonderful Ko-fi supporters can listen to the outtakes from this episode and episodes from the past by going to our Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi.com/monsterloverpod. You can keep up to date with us or reach out to us on our Twitter. That's @monsterloverpod. Or if you just want to send us a message, email us at monsterloverpod@gmail.com. Also, if you've been enjoying the scenarios we've sort of been using in lieu of the producer picks we often have, we're open to submissions. We're open to hearing from you and the various monsters you listening right now want to date. So if you have a scenario in mind that you want us to pick apart and give you some helpful advice on, then, as Cleric said, reach out to us on Twitter, hit us up in the Spotify comments, or send us an email. That's monsterloverpod@gmail.com. Anyway, if you're looking to support the show in some way, you can rate us on Spotify, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, or get a friend to listen. It helps out a lot. It means a lot to us. And if I'm being so serious with you right now, it's a bit of an ego boost. It just makes us feel good to know that you like what we're doing and for you to tell us that you like what we're doing. But anyway, that's it from me. Hope to see you in the next episode. And stay safe out there, monster fuckers.
Are you eating the flowers?
Kes, are you eating anything at home?
Why are you the flower
girl? Kes, are you eating anything? Are you eating rocks?
Are you eating rocks? Kes just eats rocks.